Welcome back to Careful Boys, where we are indeed very careful boys. And today, what's that?
No, we are currently.
Oh,
We're currently what?
Aren't you?
Off the record.
I don't know what that means, but we are careful boys. So,
We're careful boys.
today we're going to talk about, does body count matter? Look, one of my crypto corners recently hit me up, and he's like, hey, does it matter if my chick has had sex with 25 dudes?
25?
That's it?
25 dudes.
It matters because she's like almost a virgin. She needs to fuck more.
Way more. That's what I said.
How many partners has he had?
I didn't ask him.
It's probably like he's only had like one.
Yeah, it's usually like that insecurity factor.
Yeah, but I think that's one of those things where it's like you have to check yourself, and I think that's what he was doing. I think he's like, hey Steve, like, what do you think of this? And it's like, oh dude, I think that doesn't matter. And he's like, oh yeah, I agree. But he was just wanting like a little bit of an assurance, you know, from somewhere.
So for me, it was like for my first girlfriend that was like real and long term. I was like, yeah, I want her to be a virgin, so I'm a virgin too, and then we fucked. So I was like, that was magical.
How'd you fuck?
Very, very fucking inexperiencedly. You know, came so fast, didn't know what I was doing.
Hell yeah.
I think even before we fucked, she sucked me off and I busted in her mouth, and then I had to take a nap. I couldn't even get to the.
Your virgin experience, she really?
You off.
She sucked you off and then you passed out.
You're kind of a king, dude.
We used to. Well, we first started off like just fondling each other naked for like a month.
That's the best.
Or whatever. And then a couple weeks later, like we started doing a lot of oral. And then after that, like
What's a lot of oral?
like
How much oral? How many milliliters of oral is that?
probably like every day after school, she's just sucking my dick, and I'm like fucking. And when I was eating her pussy, I was just fucking licking the curtains all day. I didn't know how to fucking eat pussy.
Licking the after school sex is the best.
Licking the curtain.
After school sex is the best though.
Yeah, I was just fucking pulling those wings apart and shit. You know, like fucking stretching it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that shit hella wrong.
So stupid, right?
That's how they love it. That's trust me.
So stupid.
That's what I do to this day.
Finally, we're like, I think she's ready, and then she's like, yeah, I think like, you know, I'm like ready to do the thing, and I'm not wearing underwear today, and I'm like, wow.
That's lit.
And then
Actually, can I just say I don't like that?
the girls don't wear underwear. I like underwear.
When a chick's like, yo, I want you to know I'm not wearing underwear.
Yeah.
I'm like, put some on then. I swear to God.
Disgusting freak.
Put it on so I can pick it off.
You do exactly. That's what it's about. I like that part of it.
Yeah. Don't be coming here naked. Like, have some laundry.
Don't fucking suppose.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
Let me take it off.
Go take a shower, put on clothes, and then let me take
Put
it.
on a suit of chainmail.
It's like a present.
I think it works if that girl was wearing a skirt and you had seen her all day and didn't even think about that.
All right, that's a
But if
fact.
she's wearing pants and she's like, I'm not wearing underwear, it's like, doesn't make a fucking difference.
If she's wearing jeans, I'm like, oh god damn, are you okay down there? Like, is it gonna be all fucking raw?
And it's the one with buttons as a zipper. Instead of a zipper.
Oh, so you know it's extra snug. You know?
And the high waisted.
But I do remember being like in high school and then even in college and being like, I had just so many questions about how your exes were. Like, were they fucking good and bad?
Better than me. I know they were. I fucking know it. You're lying. You're a fucking lying whore.
Stop lying to my
And then I just start crying. And then I run to the other room and I hope that they come and get me.
Hey, bro, get out of my head, man. Get out of my life.
Pretty extreme, but I love it.
I never did that shit, but that would be crazy. Hey, I'm a writer. You have to put yourself in other people's heads.
Yeah, dude. Your empathy.
But I would say a small sprinkle of that, everyone in the beginning, I think like, you know, when you're fucking finally getting into like an adult relationship or fucking and shit, and then like, well, I was with an older girl one time too, and I was like 19, she was 23. And then so she's
Hey.
fucking dudes that are like,
Baller.
yeah, thank you. But she's fucking dudes that are in their late 20s.
Yeah, thank you.
And then when you're 19, if her ex-boyfriend was fucking 31 or
He can drive.
28,
He could probably fucking buy stocks.
He could rent a car, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I could
He can go to Dave and Buster's by himself.
He can't go to Chuck E. Cheese by himself, though. No fucking way.
that's like imagine if your ex-girlfriend's your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend was Jason Momoa. You're like, why me? It's like, why? What do I got that he don't got? You know?
She said one time he wiped his nose on a napkin and there was some boogies left behind. So there's that.
But the question is body count, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
If
body
it's
count is like
body count. It doesn't matter who it is. It's an unseen number of people. Like you don't even know
But
who
it's
they
also-
are.
it's also a
but the number bothers you.
Yeah, I think it's a number and what it's implying. So like if you're like, oh fuck, she's so fucking experienced, and then what if I'm inexperienced? Then I'm not gonna live up to whatever. And also I think there's like the societal pressure that dudes are supposed to fucking lay it down, but I can't. But I can only lay it down as good as what she knows. But if she's been with a dude, being with a dude that's had 100 chicks. How do I compare?
It's like crypto, guys. It's all about the ratios, right? It doesn't matter because she might be a fucking whore, right? She's got like 300 body count, but if you're at 314, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't.
And does body count matter as much?
If she's like 7 and you're at 1, you're fucking insecure like a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this: my current wife, and I do say current for a reason to keep her on her toes.
I'm gonna start doing that too.
Thank you.
That's fire. I'm gonna adopt that.
She has a more body count than me, right? Because I was very like pussy and shit.
By like double?
What's that?
By like double or triple? Or just a little bit more?
10x.
Probably times fucking 50.
Times 50.
Easily.
Dang, you've only been with 0.2 people?
Conservative.
So you're Bitcoin, she's altcoins.
The ratios are same.
I'm never gonna move, but she's moving all kinds, right? In the ratios. No. So she's got me by like just about a 2x, right? And so I'm like, is that gonna fuck with me?
Some dudes would be insecure with that.
Yeah.
But you got a fat old dick, Steve.
Yeah, but exactly no. But it's really just about your own personal thing. It's like why did she pick you? Why is she spending time with you? Why is she kicking it with you? So what do you care about the other shit? It doesn't make any fucking sense actually. It's not rational. It's irrational, but that's what that can creep, right? It's a mental creep. That will just happen. It will just bleed into your brain and you start to fucking think about all the other things. Do they really satisfy you? Like, can I really do it like you and all the shit? But like that's early stuff. Thank God that I went through early. Like later on, you realize how immature that is.
I think it was around my mid-20s or some shit. But like at that point, I had zero sexual jealousy. Like
At what age?
You're a maverick, dude.
You are a maverick.
He's a sexual maverick.
You can't speak to the normal people. You're just not normal.
So I think what happened though was when I was insecure because I didn't fuck that much, or like I've only had like a few partners, or maybe I did fuck, but it wasn't like they didn't communicate to me. But then after a while, I was like, I can't judge when I myself want to. Not only did I like fuck more than 10 at that point, I was like, I want to fuck more. So if I want to fuck more, then why am I judging them for fucking more than me?
That realization takes a lot of maturity to reach, though.
It does.
Because I feel like, especially growing up like with pseudo Christian values, you're always trying to at least be with someone that's lower than you. It doesn't matter. Like, so when you're a virgin, you want a virgin, and when you've been with 3 girls, you want a girl who's been with 2 guys. Like, you're always trying to do this.
A little bit more pure.
Yeah, and that's what I always did. And I always gave a big heavy shit about it. I was really like particular. I'd get mad like if a girl was like, oh, like I've been with, even if it was lower than me, if I felt like it was high, I'd be like, dude, that's fucking gross.
I started caring more about how sexually open and liberated they were, so we can have a dope sex fest.
Like you fucking their elbow and they're not gonna be weird about it.
Yeah.
I just fucking put my dick right here and go bah, 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 or whatever. Or like if they could talk about it comfortably, or like try different things, like techniques, fucking whatever. I think it makes it so much more fun than having this kind of weird dancing around of like, you wanna fuck tonight? Or like being, like especially if it's like girls that grew up with a lot of sexual shame. Like they always want the guys to pursue, and they never really like initiate, and then also they don't want to talk about it because it's scary, or I don't know what it is, but it happens in a lot of like Asian households too, because that's the main thing I remember. Like when I was dating a lot of like Asian girls at the time, like it was really difficult to just talk about it openly, and then I was like, dude, like I don't know, like you're dealing with a lot, and I just want to like connect, and like can we just look at this as like 2 adults trying to express like how they care about each other sexually or whatever?
It's Joe pressuring a woman into sex.
Don't fucking do that, motherfucker.
There's also that weird stigma though, right? Where like if a girl's like, oh, I've had sex with this many people, it's like, you hoe. right? But it's like,
for sure.
but a guy, it's like, yo, I had sex with this
like,
many
hey,
people.
James Bond.
High fives, right?
You think that's why they're scared to talk because they don't want to appear like a whole?
It's that whole like thing of how guys overestimate and girls undercount. Like there's a value in both of those. That's why like I didn't come to the maturity of thinking that was okay until I dated a girl like my ex. We finally were like talking about how many partners we've had, and I think at this time I'd had like 19 or 20 or something.
You sex haver.
I was like, how about you? I expected like my last 10 relationships, she'd be lower than me, like they always is. She goes, I don't know, like 100 something. And I fucking lost my mind, dude.
Were you like, what's that like?
Ryanimay losing his mind like fucking. He spits out the room.
No, I didn't know how to take it, and I was just like frozen. I was like, because at this time we were already like boyfriend and girlfriend, and we weren't like.
Yeah, so you can't just like break it.
Yeah,
you can't.
We were already committed.
Oh shit!
And I was like, I would not have fucking committed to this shit, and I was already like.
That's what you said, or was it in your
Yeah,
brain?
because at the time I was still under that fucking immature notion.
Good for you for admitting this. This is great.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh fuck. And the first thing I did after I was like shook. I couldn't even say anything, and I got off the phone with her, and then.
Oh, you guys were talking on the phone.
We were on the phone, yeah, and then I.
How'd you get off the phone with her? Do you remember?
I just acted like it was nothing, and I was just like, "Oh, cool, all right." And we just started talking about other shit, and then it was like I had tunnel vision. I was just like, "Oh fuck," because like up until that point, that was always like a stupid, I don't know, like an unspoken value that you just have as a guy.
And the last 10 relationships, every time you brought it up, it went in a one direction.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mine's like 17. Oh, mine's like 4 or whatever. And
it was like, and I was a fucking dick, dude. I was like really mean to her for a while. Like, and that was the reason, and I never like brought it up.
And maybe that's why girls don't want to talk about that shit.
No, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Dr. Joe's coming out here.
I don't think that's why.
But that's,
you know, if it was me, I would have just been like, oh shit, so you must have sucked a fuck ton of dick. Like, you must be really good at what you do.
You're high level.
Show me truly your skill.
Yeah, and then she does it, and you're like,
That doesn't feel like
100
100.
unsatisfied customers.
That's more like a 60 or 70
It's
max.
like you open a restaurant that goes out of business in 3 years.
That's how you get back at
That's why I was laughing to myself earlier, because when Steve was talking, you know, like, he was saying, like, sometimes guys are so stupid, or just people are so stupid in general because they kind of get in their own minds, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I imagine the dude that's literally getting a blowjob, and he goes, I bet it didn't taste like the other guy's dick. Because they get in their minds so much, like, but she's on your dick right now.
Why are you like what the fuck is wrong? She's riding your dick, she's giving herself to your dick, all this shit, but you can't handle.
You like Scott's dick way better, don't you?
You're saying it out loud.
That's why you're a pussy, bro. That's why those guys are pussies, though.
It takes a lot.
And I'm not even hating on
You're a pussy, dude.
if you're like that, I'm not even hating on you. You're just being a pussy. But hopefully you can get past this, because we were all pussies. That's
It's just
why
a phase.
It is a phase, yeah. That's the thing, it's a phase. And I wouldn't have been able to reach that maturity if it wasn't for being with her. Because our relationship became pretty shitty at that point because of me, how I took it. But nothing else was really different. Like, it didn't... Her being with 100 guys didn't have any negative effect besides my own taste.
Suddenly, the next time you look at her vagina, it just like starts to grow on you for some reason. It's optical
I
illusion.
knew something was wrong.
Before I know it, I'm inside looking out. I'm like, oh shit.
There's 190 other dudes in there with you. Like, hey Ryan, what's going on?
But she helped me understand. It really doesn't fucking matter. But like for a person like me, like I will say, I'm a hard person to convince back then.
But I think that's way more common amongst guys.
Exactly. Like all my
Yeah.
friends thought exactly like I did.
No one's like Joe.
No, I
That's
thought
very
like
rare.
that too. What are you talking about? I agree. I thought like that.
No, you did it, dude. No, you did. No, you did it. Okay.
I did until I was mid-20s,
Joe's insecurity is sad, but it's okay.
I was mid-20s at this
right?
exact time,
And then
yeah.
you kind of like grow out of it because, I mean, that was why I was like, my first has to be a virgin because it just felt weird and wrong.
And you were right.
Someone just honestly, like, it just helps to be checked as a guy. Like, it helps for some girl to just come in your life and just fucking check your values.
But you also see the benefit of dating someone with a lot of experience because then you don't have to deal with all of the shit and like their insecurities. Just like how guys have insecurities when they're inexperienced, like girls do too, right? And then so like you have two fucking insecure kids like that don't know how to fucking actually be an adult yet. Like, I think that's a big part of it.
But writ large, the best things that have broken me through, like anytime, everyone always talks about wanting breakthroughs, right? But you have to come across something really difficult to break through it. That's true. Every time that's ever happened to me, it was somebody just being like, yo, Steve, you know why you suck at this? Is because of this. And like every time it's like you either just cry like a bitch, and you're gonna cry at first. You're gonna be like, this sucks, man. Fuck, I can't believe I suck at this, right? But if you want to push through that, you have to just man up and be like, okay, yeah, I want to get better at this. So what's the next step?
So is there a pivotal moment where you guys remember? Because I don't remember mine.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't sexual. For me, it was comedy-wise. Like, it was like doing improv. Mm-hmm. It was like my improv guru, guy I love, his name's Trenton Shine. He told me, he's like, hey, Steve, you want to know why you suck at improv? And then he was like, you make it all about you. You're making it all about you. It's you're me-provising. Which you guys know, I'm big on fucking, I hate me-provising. Like I always talk about.
What's an example?
Oh, just like somebody who's going to make the scene still focus and make the scene about them. Instead of trying to do the magic trick of like incorporating everyone into the scene, right? So like, hey, I've noticed somebody's being quiet. How do I bring them into the scene? Hey, I've noticed somebody doesn't feel comfortable to jump in the scene. How do I get them in the scene? That's the most important thing. If you can make your partner look good, that's how you look good. If you look,
it's like a ball hog.
Partner, you suck at improv. So I didn't really realize that.
So when you do like the whole like, oh, it's all Steve Day and stuff like that's you still me-provising?
No, I'm not me-provising. I'm actually bringing you in.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm making you look good.
I feel like I do a good job making you look good.
Well, he's setting you up for a comeback because you're so good at those.
Is that right? Yeah. You are really good at not me-provising.
That was an example right there.
Yeah. I was setting you up for that because I was.
So that changed your whole entire worldview of not thinking so selfishly.
Yeah.
And then so that reflected in sex.
If you're getting a laugh, if you're getting a laugh, then it's like, that's all that matters. But that's not all that matters. The team is what matters. Making everyone on the team look good matters.
It's a room.
Right? It's about the room. But so like sexually even, it was about like foregoing your own personal ego shit. And like for me particularly, not treating every woman as a copy paste, right? So it's like you have had sex with however many people, but you think that you know how to work a pussy, like that's all I'm saying. You don't, bro. You
Work
don't.
a pussy.
You don't.
That's
I'm dressed in a money costume, so fuck you. That's who says that shit. But you know what I'm saying?
Hey, stop me-provising.
It's not like
An old steam engine.
But that's it, right?
Just needs more coal.
Team that shit.
This pussy is working real good.
But that's the whole thing, right? It's like thinking that
Industrial Revolution.
because you made your first girlfriend come one way, now you're with your fucking ninth or whatever.
You're like, how come it's not working?
The
fuck?
Crank isn't working.
It should work that way, but you're not listening to them. You're not taking like their particular like situation into account, how they're more mental or whatever. You just don't pay attention to that shit. You just are like, I'm gonna hammer that fucking clit hard. I'm coming for it.
You're right though. You're right.
Fucking. Ooh, I know you like that shit. You know. Because guys are fucking stupid as fuck. You know what I mean?
I realized too that body count is nowhere near as important as like, I think it's a bigger problem if someone that you've had in the past is still lingering and is creating problems for your current relationship, and that's only one person.
Yeah.
Cause like my ex had been with 100 guys, I never saw any of them. But if I was with like 10 girls and one of them kept fucking bugging us, that's a bigger problem.
That is a bigger
than quantity,
problem.
right?
Totally.
That's true. That's true.
Plus, there's also the quantity in general of like body count, right? It's like fucking you're with 10 people one time, or you're with one person 100 times.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I started thinking like in like later on in my 20s when I was like, well, what if this person fucked 20 people one time and this person was in like a 5-year relationship with like one person, but they fucked thousands of times. Yeah. Who has more experience?
365 days a year.
that's literally what I just said, but just on a different ratio.
I thought about this too.
Inflated numbers.
I thought about this too. I was like, what if like you're with one person for like 10 years and you guys are fucking like 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Versus like you're like somebody's like fucks 10,000.
Ratios.
I thought that was
It's really interesting you said it that way.
What I was trying to add to that point is their experience level and quality of sex is probably going to be much better versus someone who's just only had a bunch of one-night stands.
That's actually what I learned in me and Gio's relationship. Both of us actually have really low counts. I think both of us are under 5 each.
Thank God.
Glory to the Lord.
I'm the fucking Fonz.
This guy's going to heaven.
I got the fucking lowest.
Yeah, both of us
Fucking pearly gates.
are under 5 each. But since we've been together for so long, we've been different people in our relationship. So I think even then, like we've kind of, it almost feels like we've had 3 or 4 relationships in the same one. And I think the thing that we learned the most is like in the beginning, through all the fights or just all the turmoil, you kind of work out all these bad things that maybe you had trauma from before or problems you didn't work out before. And as you grow together, you start to realize what are the good things that you focus on rather than the bad things or the things that could be. So I think like now, like let's say if we were to like unfortunately break up or something like that, like body count wouldn't matter to me at all because now I understand what it really means to be in a relationship or to like have sex or to be intimate. Like all of it is all about the quality and the connection versus everything else that you thought it was.
That's so true.
I thought you were gonna say like you learned ball licking was like your thing, but then not so much hand jobs, like. But then, you know, maybe a little bit of butt play, but not all the time. And then, like, you start to weed out the things you like.
But that's also true, though. I think that's also true.
You know what I loved about what Bart just said? If it was anybody else giving that same speech, Bart would have stood up.